With Memorial Day right around the corner, we are already experiencing those warmer temperatures and sunshine. Now, Memorial Day is actually the unofficial start of summer, but June 1st is the meteorological start of summer. And with this summer season just upon us, we are watching our summer wildfire and drought conditions. And here to tell us more is National Weather Service meteorologist Glenn Merrill right here from the Salt Lake City office. How you doing, Glenn?
I'm doing well. How are you this morning?
Good, thank you. And just a few days ago, actually, NOAA put out the summer outlook here, which includes June, July, and August. What did it say?
So the biggest thing that we're looking at is the temperature outlook for that period. If you remember back to 2020, it was one of the warmest and driest years on record that really started put us into the drought period. We're looking at a very high percentage of being above normal temperature-wise for the 3-month period of June, July, and August. And you were talking about the unofficial start to summer. I look at also the dryness factor that we're heading into during the warm season. And the climatologically driest period begins in about mid-June and lasts through mid-July. So when you look at the precipitation outlook, it's a lot harder to differentiate this time of year because we are so dry typically. We only get about 5% of our annual water supply from monsoonal thunderstorm periods during the warm season. 95% comes from snowmelt runoff and storage.
Well, and of course, we haven't had a great runoff. We didn't have a great winter for the most part.
No, actually, the snow water equivalent in the snowpack was well below average. We only peaked out close to about 80% statewide average. But when you look at how dry the soils were going into that, when we started melting that snow, it went straight into the soil. So when we're looking at water supply runoff, we're only projecting about 20 to 40% of normal for most major basins across the state. So you couple that with the drought conditions, which currently we're 90% in extreme or exceptional drought across the state. This is after we've been through our wet season, and now we're going into our dry, and the outlook is a very high percentage for above normal temperatures through the period.
Which is really unfortunate news. Now, obviously, there is the University of Nebraska. They're the ones that kind of do the drought monitor each and every week. So we kind of piggyback off of them. We just had a pretty good round of rain here. What is that going to do, if anything, to maybe put a dent in this drought?
Well, every little bit of rainfall is beneficial, right? We need as much as we can get. But when we're talking drought, we really have to look at the big picture and the big picture trends. And this drought really started beginning after a very wet 2019 season. Then we started drying out. And if you look at how the drought has expanded across Utah, especially, it really started expanding and worsening beginning about last July. And it continued all the way through December. We had wildfires in November in the high Uintas when it was in the mid-30s.
Right.
Well,
we're talking about wildfires just a second ago. What are we looking at with the drought the way it is? I mean, are we anticipating just a really bad wildfire season?
Well, projections, looking at the wildfire season. So one thing you look at is the fuel moisture, the fuels, what the fire burns off of the vegetation, how dry it is. Just last summer alone, as we were getting worse into the drought, we were seeing record, they're called ERCs, energy release components, where it essentially combusts easier. And we've only worsened the drought. We're already going in the fire season. You've already seen all the red flags that are going out in southern Utah. Right now, timber is extremely dry for this time of year. And there's a concern that even though we've been so dry, a lot of the grass load hasn't been as large as normal for some of the lower elevation fires. But the timber's really dried out, and those are the big fires that crest out. And if you remember 2018, Bald Mountain, Pole Creek, Coal Hollow, I mean, multiple very large damaging fires.
Well, I do appreciate you coming in and talking, because I know a lot of people are concerned about the season with the drought the way it is, the wildfires that are projected to be not the best, and hopefully we get some rain. We get a bit of a monsoon in here that we haven't had, the non-soon, right?
Pros and cons to that.
Yes.
With a monsoon comes lightning.
Yes, right.
And rainfall is typically very localized and heavy at times, where you get flash flooding and such, right? But you also get lightning coming out of the anvils all around it, where it might not be a wetting rain.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, again, I appreciate you coming in, and we're obviously going to keep all of this in mind as we head into the next several months, and keep an eye on our summer outlook. I appreciate it again for you to come in, Glenn.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Brian?